One of the stories that I never really shared before is I'm actually a student of eXcommerce University in Perth, Australia. But here's the thing, I never ever graduated. I don't have a degree from eXcommerce University, but I spent 2.5 years here. You see, in my old days, when I was really struggling at the time, I had the idea that I need a degree to get a good job, all the same things lah. And my parents had only very little money then, and I actually took a loan to come to this university to study. And I had the idea, I knew that at the time I could work and pay for my university fees. I mean, that was the idea lah. So I did come, I found a job, but then it wasn't that easy to find a job here anyway. And see, the thing is that there was a lot of I thought I knew but I didn't knew kind of things happening in my life. I thought I could survive here on my own. In the end, I did survive, and unfortunately the money wasn't enough to cover the university fees. So at 2.5 years after I studied, I was invited to go back to Singapore because I didn't have money to pay for the university fees. And in fact, it was quite a humbling experience. I went back to Singapore, and then I had to rebuild myself over again. But I'm going into Mount Lawley campus, and this is my university, okay, although I didn't graduate from it. And I was actually the shuttle bus driver here. One of my jobs then was I drove students back to their accommodation. They had this kind of thing like international students, you get some shuttle service back home if you stay near the area. So I was that shuttle service driver. Besides that, I also drive international students when they came and they needed orientation to go and find houses and all that. Now, what did I learn here? Film and video. I actually studied about, and actually that's the place where I studied film and video. I started to learn about storytelling or video juxtapositions and mise en scène and this kind of thing. Talk about meaning behind the scene and all that. So it's quite interesting. I studied film and video. That was a minor of mine. And my major was business marketing. So all the while I already knew that I wanted to do business, so I wanted to go down to learn about things about business. But then university is quite different from real entrepreneurship. It's book smarts. But you see, the thing is that a lot of things about entrepreneurship is you don't know and you create yourself, and you just have to go with your gut, have a feel about what's going to happen, and you just go ahead with it. I think that's life. Okay. Yeah, this is where I used to study on one of my campuses. This way. Brings back memories. Okay. Brings back memories. This is where I studied film and video. See, acting studio, this is where we all have to role play on being cameraman. This is kind of like the end of the campus really. So cafeteria is around that side. That's where a lot of students hang out. And the interesting part about the cafeteria is it was a very good place for observing human behavior, seeing the way people talk, and about aspirations and all that. Quite nice. It kind of feels like home again. I do have a pattern when I'm in Australia. Oh yeah, one more thing that I didn't mention. Although I didn't have a degree from this university, something came out from this university that was good. I actually met my wife in uni, okay. And she's been with me since like what 2000 till now, okay, quite some time already. And many memories here with me and my wife. We studied together, we have like the same lecture groups and all that, then we have those hangouts lah. So some nice memories. I actually do have a spot in this university that's kind of like my quiet area, my thinking area, and this is like the cafeteria, and then inside the cafeteria at the corner, I always take that little seat and just sit down, observe human behavior, observe people coming by. It's more like my quiet thinking space. And then this part that used to be now you see like the Australian post, like post box. In the past it was all notice boards of people selling furniture, people moving, and then a lot of advertisements here. And that's my lecturer's office area. That's where I go in, and one of the things that I really did was I was very inquisitive then, and whenever I needed help, I always asked, and I made a point when I go into the lecturer's office, I will always ask questions. So one of the habits that I gained over the years is to never be afraid to ask any questions. One thing that really happened well, or one thing good that happened out of being here and being here on my own, was I was kind of forced to survive, and that's why from scratch I went to improve my network, open up myself, get to meet people who are older and wiser and more successful than me. I started to really ask, and being alone in a country where I don't have much support structure, I had to create everything myself. That was quite humbling. And see, the thing is that the point of this video I want to say is I really give thanks to the times of my life that was tough, that was lonely, that those times where I really just needed to really grit and hustle and just go ahead on my own, So looking back, although I feel a lot of pain of what was happening that time in my life, I am grateful that it is those kind of times that built me to become more of a survivor, to really take things as we go and try to build something from nothing, So see, the thing is that maybe in your life sometimes you will feel, there will be times that you feel that like, wow, all the things that you strive for actually come crashing down. The plans that you make actually you didn't follow. It doesn't unfold the way you unfold. But here's the thing, there are many people worse off than you, and that was the thing that fueled me in the past. There are people worse off than me. I still got my hands and my legs, my knowledge, my survivability, my attitude. All these are things that could make me and you survive as well. So that's why the message really is never give up, and give thanks to even the negative things that are happening in your life, because these become your fertilizer to let your fields of gold, okay, that's a metaphor, that's fertilizer for you to grow. And sometimes in life we need to have all this fertilizer, which is shit basically, to happen for you to grow. Okay, so I hope that this little ranting session might just be that maybe it comes to you at the right time that you need to see this, And thank you for watching this video.